Okay, welcome to my taste test project. I'm Soleil Savasco, and I will be talking about coffee. So, different types of coffee brands that I will be discussing today are Nescafe Classico, Folgers Classic Roast, Don Francisco French Roast, and Cafe Bustelo Classic Roast. So the two on the left are kind of more, I want to say, lower quality, and then the two on the right are the more higher quality. I have a friend that is a barista, so we used her cafe to make all of these coffees. Um, Moving on, just some key differences in each brand to talk about. They're kind of all very similar as far as beans, but obviously the way that they make them is resulting in a different chemical compound and flavor profile of each coffee. So Nescafe is made from a blend of Arabica, I think I'm saying that right, Arabica and Robusta beans. Typically a medium roast. Folgers are made from 100% Arabica beans, sometimes a blend depending on which roast, and it's usually medium to dark roast. Don Francisco is made from 100% Arabica beans, medium to dark roast, and Cafe Bustelo was made from a blend of Arabica beans and Robusta beans, always being a dark roast. So, the protocol, I had one of my friends actually make the coffee that's not included in this so that she could kind of be a control with me. And then we had six of my friends who all are like super big coffee connoisseurs. They were the ones that actually tried it. It was all anonymous. And the control variable is a glass of water and a shortbread cookie in between each coffee. It's the same shortbread cookie. They just took a bite and a sip of water between each one. Every coffee was made with a splash of almond milk. It was the same almond milk throughout, and it was Califia Farms, and a rating sheet was given at the very end to discover the data while they were kind of trying everything. So the objective for me was testing these four coffees on my coffee connoisseur friends to find out which is most liked overall based on smoothness, sweetness, bitterness, and aroma and flavor. So this is the criteria. We just did 1 through 5 because I just think that 1 through 10 was a little bit too wide of a range. So 5 is the strongest for aroma, 5 is the richest for flavor, 5 is creamiest for smoothness, and then 1 was very bitter and 5 was very sweet, and the overall likability 1 out of 5. This is what I gave them, something that looked like this, a little table, and it was one per coffee that they filled out, each of them. So I was able to translate this into like a graph or a table. So the results, I found Nescafe was like they were all in very indifferent to this. I felt like there's some high scores, there's some low scores. The overall consensus was that they would drink it and it's not bad. It's kind of good, but they knew there was something better to come. So that was that. For Folgers, this was definitely the least liked. Um, as you can see, all of them are kind of at 2. Nobody really liked this very much, and this coffee actually scarred me for life when I was younger. It was my first time trying coffee, and I tried this with just like hot water, and it was horrible. So it's hard for me to drink coffee now, but this was interesting just to see that they automatically knew that they didn't like it. But then some people like Aubrey and Marissa, like they said it was kind of strong in flavor or in aroma. But yeah. Don Francisco was the most liked out of all of them. You can see all the bars at the very top on the fives. This one for overall likability as well. And Mario on the very right, he said strong aroma, very good flavor, like very rich in flavor, very creamy, very sweet, and overall he really liked it. And he drinks coffee every day. Cafe Bustelo was also really liked based on I would say smoothness. It was kind of up there. Aubrey didn't think it was too smooth, but I think it was overall like definitely liked, but when they had tried the Don Francisco before, they liked that much better. So this is where I kind of got stumped a little bit on nutrition facts and ingredients. I was trying to do some research to find nutrition facts on both Cafe Bustelo and Don Francisco, but I noticed that there really wasn't much. Like this is all I could find for Don Francisco was kind of like you know, a quick summary of who they are and like ingredients are 100% Arabica bean or Arabica coffee beans. and an explanation of what it is, but there really wasn't any nutrition facts I can find online, and there wasn't any nutrition facts on the coffee container itself. Whereas Nescafe and Folgers, they did have nutrition facts on the containers, and it was super easily accessible online too. Cafe Bustelo was kind of weird because this one showed a lot more of like their K cups in their nutrition facts, and I'm not sure if that has to do with the fact that it's tiny individual, you know, cups and they have to measure it out like that versus like a whole container of the grounds. But I couldn't find one for the exact one that I had that was not in K cups. But since it's the same roast and everything, and I use pretty much the same amount that a K cup would have, then I found that pretty comparable. But overall likability, Don Francisco is the winner with a 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And I actually tried this coffee at the very end and I did really like it. And then I attempted to try Folgers and I hated it. So in conclusion, more about like the chemistry behind everything. Why Don Francisco was most liked has to do with the flavor perception because it's strongly influenced by factors like acidity, emulsifiers, volatile compounds, and buffer systems that alter the taste and aroma during brewing. We learned a lot about this in class. Don Francisco's probably had a better acidity balance. It means that it had a slight tang or brightness that made it taste a little bit more complex. This comes from natural acids in the beans, like citric and malic acid. And the good tasting parts of coffee include natural oils that carry flavor and aroma. The oils act like emulsifiers, helping mix flavor compounds evenly, like in your cup, your coffee cup. Don Francisco's probably kept more of these oils because of better roasting and fresher packaging. Coffee has some natural buffers that help keep the acidity and bitterness in check, and a huge part of the taste is actually the smell. So Don Francisco's roast likely developed these flavors more carefully, giving it a richer, more balanced aroma versus Folgers. And Don Francisco's probably use better quality Arabica beans, which have more natural sugars, less bitterness, and it won because it had better beans, better roasting, and better chemistry. The flavors were more balanced, aromatic and smooth because it held onto those natural acids, oils, and buffer systems. Whereas Folgers was least liked because um, it typically uses Robusta beans, which contain more caffeine and bitter chlorogenic compounds, which we also talked about in class, resulting in a harsher, more bitter flavor compared to smoother Arabica beans. Its low acidity and weak buffer system means it lacks the brightness and balance found in higher quality coffee. Since it's pre-ground and mass-produced, it loses all like pretty much a lot of its natural emulsifying oils and volatile aroma compounds over time. Combined with the oxidation and chemical breakdown during storage, Folger ends up lacking the complex flavors and smoothness that made other brands like Don Francisco more enjoyable. So that is my entire presentation. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.